Hello everyone, I'm Jeremy Reeves, head blender of Cornell & Diehl Pipe Tobacco Company, and today we've got another offering of C&D's tobacco selections. This is a series of videos where we talk about individual blending components and how they work in the C&D lineup, making all the different brands and products that we produce using these types of tobaccos. Today I'm going to be talking about perhaps the most divisive tobacco type in any of tobaccodom that I can think of, and that is Latakia. It seems like while there are a few people that are sort of on the fence or sort of, could take it or leave it, for the most part, people are either absolute Latakiyophiles or they can't stand the stuff, can't stand the smell of it, don't want anything to do with it, run scared and screaming from the room where it might be being smoked. It is a really, really fascinating leaf. It is Oriental leaf, so the small leaf Oriental type tobacco that totally revolutionized American style and British style cigarettes. But then it has been smoked, smoke cured or fire cured for a really, really long time. In dark fired, in Kentucky and Tennessee, it's common to have a fire going for about 14 to 16 days. And that imparts a lot of smoky character to the leaf that is grown in Kentucky and Tennessee that gets fire cured. But Latakia actually gets fire cured for a much longer period of time than that. And we're talking about a continuous smoldering fire going for between 5 and 6 months. That takes that Izmir type leaf, that leaf that has sort of a strange tart and funky sort of character to it, a leaf that has a little bit of like a cashew sort of tone to it, and it covers it in soot and resins from the types of wood that are burned for this 5 to 6 month period, and it turns the leaf just dark, 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 and imbues it with this strange sort of Buddhist temple incense or Catholic service incense kind of smell. The frankincense and myrrh aroma in Latakia was something that I immediately picked up on the first time that I smelled or smoked it, and I've always found fascinating. I think that the people who really enjoy Latakia find it to be maybe mesmerizing or meditative, and I think that might have something to do with it. It is certainly redolent with a deep, smoky incense. So without further ado, let's smoke some of it and talk about the aroma and the flavor. One thing worth pointing out right off the bat is that Latakia, while it has a very pronounced aroma and the perception may be that Latakia is very strong, it is true that it has a very pronounced aroma, it has a very strong flavor, but nicotine-wise, it is among the lower rung of nicotine laden leaf. About 1.5% or so is what is commonly found in Latakia, which is quite low. It's lower than, say, Bright Virginia, or most of your other Oriental type tobaccos. I think that fire curing for that 5 to 6 month period actually does remove some of the nicotine. Also, because of that 5 to 6 month period where it has been subjected to a fair amount of heat and smoke, it takes flame really easily, and so it seems to burn at a lower temperature. But you can take big puffs. just produce massive clouds of smoke with no risk whatsoever of tongue bite. Velvety smooth on the palate. Not even the slightest hint of spiciness or tingle when I pass it through my nasal cavity. The flavor is leathery, a little smoky. There are some wood characters to it. Every once in a while I get something that I can only describe as being similar to an old bottle of Bordeaux. There's an old red wine and an aged red wine kind of flavor. It's sweet, but totally in the background. The sweetness is totally in the background. The forefront is really that leathery, woody, cedary kind of aroma and flavor, and the fruity sort of sweetness is very much in the background of this leaf. So similar to Oriental leaf, where you get like those kind of baking spices, you know, cardamom and cumin and curry powder. With Latakia, basically think of those spices having been coated on something and then thrown under a broiler. You still get some of the similar tastes, but they are darker. They have been cooked. They have been caramelized. They have been coated in a layer of creosote. Latakia, you know, as we've said before, very divisive leaf. Some people love it, some people hate it. Personally, I really enjoy it. Every time that I have ever needed to smoke it straight, as I am in this instance, it's really been about working on a blend, or it's been about actually making a leaf selection. I don't find myself smoking Latakia just straight very often, but I do think that it is worth your time. If you like Latakia, if you like blends that contain Latakia, I would definitely recommend to you to get a small amount of blending Latakia and just try it on its own so that you can really see how it is working in with those other tobaccos in the blends that you enjoy to create the flavor profile that it does. I would recommend to anybody who is interested in blending, smoke your blending components straight before you ever start mixing them together. And I think that can teach all of us a lot about the way that blends come together, the way that, you know, oh, I didn't really like this leaf on its own necessarily, but together with other things, it really works. You know, that can be eye-opening, and that's an experience that I have quite often actually in blending. So I definitely recommend trying some Latakia. If you like it, or actually even if you don't like it, get yourself a clay pipe and try Latakia on its own, and maybe it can help you to expand on a place that maybe you didn't realize your palate wanted to go. So I'll go ahead and leave you with those thoughts, and yeah, look forward to next time, guys. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you again soon. Bye bye.